Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. This is Shamir, and today we're going to look at Parashat Vaetchana, and we're going to look at verses Devarim or Deuteronomy 3:23 through 29. Okay, first, we're going to look at etymology or the use of words in these 6 verses. Okay, so we have Vaetchana. Hanan is the lexical form, and it means to find grace or favor. And then we have a nominal form, chen, which is grace or favor. Nominal means noun form. We see a use of this word in Bereshit 6:8, V'Noach matzah chen be'enei Yahweh. So Noach, matzah, found, chen, favor, be'enei, in the eyes of Yahweh. So this word should not be confused with um, the word grace that's used in the apostolic writings or New Testament. The word that's used there is actually chesed, which is definitely what you want. There's a lot to say about this word. It doesn't translate well into English. The best example is when you look at the book of Ruth. Ruth is lauded for her much chesed, basically going beyond the call of duty. And this is the word that's really found uh, in the apostolic writings. Chen has a different connotation. It's usually used like this, chen be'enai, so find favor in the eyes of someone, either God or another person. So, okay. And so then we have wordplay with 2 words in these 6 verses, avar and ra'ah. Ra'ah is he saw. It's the third masculine singular for anybody out there who is beyond basic Hebrew. And avar, he crossed over. So in the verse, we see various forms. Here we can see the root of each of this word. We have some prefixes and suffixes, ebera, that I may cross over. Vayit aber, so it's the same, this is the same word, but it has a different meaning. So this is why, with Hebrew, when you look at the text in Hebrew or you have a Hebrew word, you need to make sure that you understand it in the context in which it is given. Because you see the word avar here, it can mean cross over, but here it means he was angry, the yit aber. And then the rest of the connotation of the word, ta'avor, you will cross over, ya'avor, he will cross over. And then we have the word ra'ah, he saw, leharot, to see. This is what we would call an infinitive construct, which are 2 verbs, to do, to say, to speak. Ve'er-a, and I will see. Ur-a, and see. Tir-a, you will see. So then we see, for the most part, except for here, we see most of the root of the word in leharot. Ur-a, see the full form, and tir-a. Okay, so that's just, again, the words that are going to be played on in these few verses that we're going to look at. Okay, so now we're just going to look at the structure of these verses 23 through 29. Okay, so have verse 23. This is the word that starts off the parashat, right? Vaetchana el Yahweh. So, and I sought favor from Yahweh. Right? So this is what we call an introduction to the dialogue. This is how it begins. Moses or Moshe sought God's favor, Vaetchanan. Okay, that's verse 23. And verse 24, here's our Neharot et Godlecha. So to see your greatness, Godlecha. Right, so Moses offers praise for the privilege of seeing Neharot, God's greatness, Godlecha. Verse 25, the Ebera na. So this is like the hey on the end of this word also is what we call cohortative. But so in this whole phrase, it's to implore that I will cross over, let me cross over, may I cross over the a et haaretz. So there's our other word, the a from ra'ah, and ebera from avar. Et haaretz hatova. So Moses asks permission to cross over ebera, to see the a, the physical land. That's what he's asking to do, to cross over into the physical land of Israel. Haaretz, the land. And then we continue with the structure of verse 26. Vayit aber Yahweh be. So remember, Vayit aber is made with the same root as to cross over. Afar. So we can say that Yahweh was cross or angry with Moshe, using the same word. His response to Moshe is the same word that Moshe used to ask to cross over to see the land. Word A, the enecha, kilo ta'avor. So, and see with your eyes. Word A, the enecha, kilo, for you will not ta'avor, cross over. So again, word A is from ra'ah, and ta'avor from avar. In this sense, again, vayit aber is the only form that's kind of deviates from what we would expect and tells us that Yahweh is cross or angry. Ta'avor, you will cross over. So Moses is permitted to see the land, but not to cross over. Ta'avor. So verse 27. Verse 28, V'sav et Yehoshua ki hu ya'avor et ha'aretz asher tir'eh. Sav means to command. And this is an imperative. The lexical form is sade vav he, for anyone who wants to know. Et Yehoshua ki hu, for he will cross over ya'avor, again from our avar. Et ha'aretz, the land, asher, that you will see, tir'eh, from our root word ra'ah. So Moshe is to command Joshua to cross over to the land he sees. So to cross over, ya'avor, tir'eh. And then we have our last verse, V'nishev Bagai Mul Beit Peor. Beit Peor is a place. This place. So this is what we call a travel notice. The last travel notice really for Moshe. We remained opposite Mul Beit Peor. So a guy is a valley. The valley. Vaneshev from Yeshav. So we remained in the valley, Mul Beit Peor. The last thing we want to look at in verse 26, kind of want to go back because there's this phrase, Rav Lach. The command, so do not continue to speak to me. So Al Tosef the Bear Elai implies that Moshe had been persistent in his prayer. So speaking much, you're speaking much or saying much, Rav Lach, idiom. It describes probably Moshe's many moments of imploring Yahweh that he may cross over into the physical land of Israel. So, but we can do that now. Israel is a physical place. It's not spiritual Israel. Those are silly terms to delineate Israel and to put it into a non-existent state or a replaced state. So we say well, it's spiritual Israel now. No, it isn't. It's an actual physical land where people live. It's the same land that God had sworn in an oath. Often we use the word promise, but promise is a weak word just to say Shavah. So Yahweh swore a legal binding oath to bring Israel into the physical land. And then her duty is to keep his instructions and then the people keeping those instructions, and that would influence those around them as well. So let us enter in and let us keep his instructions and not be thrown off course by various teachings that we hear. We have his word and we can always turn back there to make sure that what we're being told is true. And that is all for today. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Yahweh be with you and may you have his shalom. Bye-bye.